For the military, there is a time for fighting, and there is a time for healing. Today, it was all about healing. 15,000 Fort Hood soldiers gathered in a memorial service for those who were killed last week. As the fort's commanding officer pointed out, 545 soldiers from Fort Hood have been lost overseas in Iraq and Afghanistan. But there is special tragedy when 13 are lost at home in a place they thought to be safe. The president came to Fort Hood to be part of the military family he commands.
Your loved ones endure through the life of our nation. Their memory will be honored in the places they lived and by the people they touched. Every evening that the sun sets on a tranquil town, every dawn that a flag is unfurled, every moment that an American enjoys life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that is their legacy.
The president told the stories of the 13 who were killed, and they represent so much of the fabric of American life, all ages, from 19-year-old Aaron Nemelka,
An Eagle Scout who just recently signed up to do one of the most dangerous jobs in the service, defuse bombs,
to 62-year-old Michael Cahill,
so committed to his patients that on the day he died, he was back at work just weeks after having had a heart attack.
from officers like Major Labardo Eduardo Caraveo, who
Spoke little English when he came to America as a teenager, but he put himself through college, earned a PhD.
to the Sergeant Amy Kruger, who wanted to win the war on terrorism all by herself.
When her mother told her she couldn't take on Osama bin Laden by herself, Amy replied, "Watch me."
The president also mentioned the man who it is believed killed these 13, and he was unambiguous in judgment.
No faith justifies these murderous and craven acts. No just and loving God looks upon them with favor. For what he has done, we know that the killer will be met with justice in this world and the next.
But most of all, the president paid tribute, not just to the killed and wounded, but to all in the military who now bear such burdens.
We need not look to the past for greatness, because it is before our very eyes. Long after they are laid to rest, it will be said that this generation believed under the most trying of tests, believed in perseverance, not just when it was easy, but when it was hard. That they paid the price and bore the burden to secure this nation and stood up for the values that live in the hearts of all free peoples.
With that, the volley of 21 guns. And taps. And a final calling of the roll. Soldiers who are living respond. Those who have died, the silence after their name is called says it all.
Captain Williams.
Here, Sergeant Major.
Major Caraveo. Sergeant First Class Long.
Here, Sergeant Major.
Staff Sergeant DeCrow. Staff Sergeant Henson.
Here, Sergeant Major.
Captain Gaffney.
And then the president walked past the 13 soldier memorials, pausing and leaving a commander-in-chief's coin at each. And then it was time for the families to come forward. Such brief moments to say a prayer, to bid a goodbye, to express a love. Such brief moments.
So we say goodbye to those who now belong to eternity. We press ahead in pursuit of the peace that guided their service.
The Army's Chief of Staff, General George Casey, told those who attended the gathering to grieve with the Army, not for it. It was a message that resonated across America today. In Fort Hood tonight, Bob Woodruff.
On this day of solemn remembrance, it was clear. The wounds from the senseless tragedy cut deep and wide. Dan Kruger lost his niece, Sergeant Amy Kruger.
She was, the bravest of the brave as far as we're concerned.
It was a day when all of America could share in the heartache of the Army's family. Layla Willingham lost her brother, Specialist Jason Hunt.
Oh, I heard taps last night at 10 o'clock and I broke down. pretty badly.
The grief extends far beyond the walls of this military post. In St. Paul, Minnesota, more than a dozen relatives of Private Kam Gung gathered to watch and to mourn, overcome with emotion as his name echoed in the hall. In Spokane, Washington, Marilyn Atterbury, the sister of Michael Cahill, the only civilian killed in the rampage, watched in abject sorrow.
It's devastating. It has devastated us. And it's just too much tragedy at this time.
In a deep sense of caring.
In Homewood, Illinois, the family of 21-year-old Najee Hull is clinging to hope. Hull remains in critical condition in a Texas hospital.
He'll never be the same. He has wounds that will probably be with him for the rest of his life.
Early this afternoon, as the memorial at Fort Hood got underway, a potent reminder of the tragic toll rolled down the main street of Kiel, Wisconsin, a procession carrying the remains of Sergeant Amy Kruger. And as the president said, no words can fill the void.
Neither this country nor the values upon which we were founded could exist without men and women like these 13 Americans. And that is why we must pay tribute to their stories.
Bob Woodruff, ABC News, Fort Hood, Texas.